Hi, it's Lynn Shuck with Healing in Balance. We're playing with hip proprioception today. This also could be listed as a balance video. This is challenging work. It's not typically taught in any yoga classes, but it's a way to strengthen your muscles' response to imbalance at the hip joint in a way that it's hard to work on in other places. When you practice this proprioception, it's not going to go well. That's kind of the point. It's the whole idea that your body's going to figure out what to do to keep you from toppling over. Now, when I say topple over, you'll just put your foot down. This is done down on the floor, and we're going to start in a half kneeling position. If you need extra cushioning under your knees, you should put it there. Also, watch that this back leg isn't already externally rotating. We want that foot going straight back behind the knee, so no rotation. We're going to settle this hip down that's attached to the front leg. So I want you to press your back lower leg into the floor, foot to knee, whatever part's on the floor. I'll angle again. And I'm going to shift my weight a little bit so that I can start to lift my heel up and really have my weight be on this knee. And as I'm able to, I'm going to put less and less weight in my front foot and try and lift it up. And you see, it's a little wobbly. Let's try that on the other side. So again, we want the leg straight behind the lower leg going straight back behind the knee. We're going to try and drop this hip down. Not everybody needs that, but a lot of us bring this hip around, this foot around, and the hip lifts up. So sink that hip down a little bit if you need to. We're going to press that back foot and knee into the floor, shift a little weight onto that knee, more and more of your weight, so that you can start to pick the heel up. And then see, what can you do? Maybe you touch your toe down 6, 8, 20 times, but maybe you don't. Woohoo! All right, we're going back to the first leg because of course there's more. There's always more. So we set up, you see my hip is up. Drop the hip, press my back leg into the ground. I'm gonna shift my weight. Notice I'm allowing arms to do whatever they need to, but my lower body is what's coordinating this. It's proprioceptive work. I can't try something. I have to just figure it out while I'm there. I'm going to shift onto that knee. I'm going to try and pick my foot up. And then I'm going to try and carry my leg behind me and come to kneeling mountain. And I'm going to shift back onto that leg and try and bring the leg around to the front and put it down. Did you see all that effort I was doing to try not to put my hand down? That was all coming from here. Hip proprioception. Let's try the other leg. I will recommend don't look down while you're doing this. Try and find a focal point right out in front of you to keep your gaze fixed. Just like any balance, a fixed gaze can be of assistance. Where you gaze can also be of assistance. So I like to gaze about eye level right out in front of me. We're going to shift onto that back leg. We're going to pick the foot up if you can. And if you want to, you try and bring the leg behind and come down to kneeling mountain, and then shift back to that knee, try and bring the leg around and come forward. The quicker you do it, the more you're using momentum. The slower you do it, the more your hip proprioception comes into play. This is really challenging. It's not supposed to go well. If it gets really good, that's awesome. Then you can try letting that hip lift and trying to come through There's all kinds of ways you can challenge your balance here. You can try and use your arms less and less over time. Play down here. See what happens when you work on this. That's it. Go.